All right, welcome to part two of the beef stock. So everything's just roasting in the oven here, and I'm just going to take you through the process of taking that out, putting it into the stock pot, adding the aromatics, and I'm going to show you the deglazing, which is a pretty important part, and that's kind of why I wanted this here. So I'm putting these little cutting boards, or the wooden cutting boards, so that the pan doesn't sit directly on here and burn my countertop. Okay, so here's the stock pot I'm going to use. Here are the aromatics. Okay, so we've got thyme, parsley, bay leaves. I've got those cut up pieces of garlic. I've got my peppercorns, and I'm going to be adding salt as well to that. Okay, I'm also going to need a little bit of wine, and if you don't have any red wine, you can use water, that's fine. If you do use wine, make sure that it's an actual, that it's not, you know, a girl's night out or something like that, not a sweet flavored wine. You want it to be a red wine, and you know, the deeper the color, the better. And again, if you can't do that, that's okay. Water is absolutely fine. So let's grab, I've lost mine. There it is. I'm gonna grab my pan. Beautiful. Now, at home, I want you to use oven mitts. 2 hands, okay, people? So I was just trying to, for the video, I just grabbed the one cloth. I didn't think of grabbing the 2. Shouldn't have done that. Not very safe. Okay, so I got lucky on this one, but please use 2 oven mitts, hold it together, and bring it out. So let's take a look at this. We're the browning that we got on here is just beautiful. So look at this dark, deep color. That's what we want. That's beautiful. So I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to stick this, I'm putting it in my stock pot here. And I'm just slowly grabbing all these bulk pieces. You'll notice that there is fat on the bottom, and it's very hot. So I want you to be careful. Take your time. Don't go too fast. And even when you take it out, make sure that you, with those oven mitts on, that you're not spilling that oil on yourself either. Okay, so very important. That fat I'm actually going to add in there, and that's actually going to help seal everything off, and there is flavor in fat as well. But just remember, if you think, oh my god, this is going to make me, it's not good for my health, that sort of thing, it will all float to the top when you cool it down, and at that point you can take it right off. And like I said before, you can get a good 10 days in the fridge just keeping that fat on, as long as that fat is not cracked and it's all the way across, and it will seal it for a little bit. Okay, so it's looking pretty good. I'm going to take that and pour the rest of that in there. Now, normally I would do the deglazing over heat. Okay, so I would put this sort of back onto the element, but I want to show you what to do. So I'm just going to do it on these cutting boards, but you could do it on a hot stove. You just got to make sure that it's nice and still warm when you do it. So what you'll see is all these little parts here got stuck on, and this will do 2 things. 1, it'll get the flavor off this pan into your stock pot, which is where you want it, and 2, it'll be easy to clean. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that red wine. I'm just going to put it on there. And again, I would usually do this over, I would put this pan back on the stove top, turn it on a little bit, not too high, and then as it cooks, you'll see it starts to, it'll start to boil off. And all I want to do is I want to scrape all this stuff off. Now my pan is hot. I'm going to get a lot of this off. But I want to make sure that all that wine helps to deglaze it. It helps to pull it off. That's it. And once I've scraped all that, there we go. Now over a flame, you'll be able to do this a little bit quicker, a little bit more thorough. Won't take long, maybe 2 minutes, and you'll start to feel that that whole pan starts to be really, really smooth, and we've deglazed that. And all that flavor is going up into there. All right, so I'm going to take that, put that into my stock pot. I'm going to do that carefully. Now, I'm using a cookie sheet here today, but a roasting pan would be way better for you. So if you've got a roasting pan, use that. And what we will do now is bring that stock pot. So that stock pot is almost half full already. I'm going to take my peppercorns, throw those guys in there, and then I'm going to take all my aromatics. So once again, okay, my parsley, my thyme, my bay leaves, my garlic. I'm going to throw that all in there. And again, you've got the option, like we talked about in the chicken stock video. You can put that into a little piece of cheesecloth, tie up that cheesecloth. That's called a bouquet garni. That goes in there. Or you could also do something called a fagot, and you can actually tie it up and take that whole bunch of herbs, tie it up almost like a bundle of sticks, throw it in there, which is what a fagot is, and put it in there. We're going to top this up with cold water. Always cold, even though you've roasted, always cold water. It's the cleanest, and it's going to help to bring any impurities up when it comes up to the boil, which is what you want. And then you're going to de-scum just like you did with your chicken stock. So I want to make sure everything's all nice and covered, which we're almost there. Excellent. All right. Then the salt. And I'm going to go with a good rounded tablespoon there. Okay, just to get that started. This one will cook a lot longer than the beef, than the chicken. So you can let that go. If it gets a little low and you want to just keep it going, you could always add a little bit more cold water, not a problem. If you're cooking and you still have other scraps of other things that you want to throw in there, you can throw it in there as well. Like I said, in the restaurant business, typically a good restaurant will have a stock pot going on the back at all times. It'll be big, it'll be huge. And as you cook and as you just throw anything that's left over back into that stock pot, and that stock becomes really, really strong. And from that, we make things like an espagnole sauce, or we make a demi-glace, all these things, and it makes a really, really good stock. So I'm gonna stop there. This is part 2, so I'm not gonna show you. There could be a part 3 too, but once this has all been going all day, you're going to strain that. Okay, so strain it through a colander or through a wire strainer, and then that liquid, you're going to put it into you're going to let it cool first, and then you're going to put it into the fridge. And overnight, what should happen is you'll get sort of a nice coating of fat right along the top. And what you'll notice too is a good stock will be kind of gelatinous. Okay, so when you take it out to use it, it'll look like jelly. So some people find that a little gross, but that is a good sign that you have a nice, rich stock, and that you have collagen in there too, which is great. Anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Ciao.